Well, hi YouTubers, hi, welcome to the first book of the 6 Miles 60 Books, hashtag there, right, so, 6 Miles 60 Books. Now, I read this one a couple of weeks ago, so I thought, here's my time to review it. 50 People Who Buggered Up Britain by Quentin. Now, Quentin published a book about almost 2 years ago called Patronising Bastards, which that title alone screams read me. Now, Quentin, let's describe the kind of person he is, okay. This is his blurb, okay. Quentin Letts is a parliamentary sketch writer and theatre critic for the Daily Mail. A regular broadcaster on radio and television, he was formerly New York's correspondent for the Times and gossip columnist for the Daily Telegraph. He regularly presents Channel 4's series What's the Point Of? This is recreations in Who's Who as gossip and character defestinization. This is his first book. Okay. Illustrations by Nicola Jennings. Whoa, who's trained as a theatre designer. Okay. Marvellous. Well done to you. So, first book. Now, this book came out, okay, lose a posh voice, in 2008. So, obviously, the world has changed, okay, since Quentin Letts' well-sharpened nib makes a compelling case 50 guilty parties for spoiled tennis brat John McEnroe, TV Gardener Alan Titchmarsh, the dumbed-down buffoon who put the H in Apelidistra, Margaret Thatcher terminated ruptured national unity, the creation of EastEnders trashed our brand over high tea. These, let's argued, are the people who made our country the ugly, ignorant, beer-ridden and bawling bum of the Western world. Here are fools, knaves and vulgarians who ripped up British honour and glory, set in its place the tawdry and trite. In half a century we've gone from the end of empire to Hades in a wheelbarrow. Okay, I think I kind of summed everything up. Okay, yeah. Yeah. EastEnders, that's Julie Smith. Okay. There you go. Let me just get to the whole Julie Smith who created EastEnders because it was mentioned, okay? Now, I don't actually watch EastEnders, so hey. The characters in EastEnders still talk Cockney, even though younger Londoners longer took up rap music street jungle pathos was heavily black American in tone. You seldom hear that sort of do-talk in EastEnders. Barbara Windsor and Diddy Puff don't exactly mix. EastEnders doesn't seem much plugged into the Britain of mosque madmen or Barrett home aspiring young professionals, where were the shrewd ethnic minorities within the community centres and the strident political identities. Had the makers of the programme ever actually been to the East End of London? Oh yes, we are told. But it's a drama about modern Britain. Okay. So where are the divine eccentrics of the ambling middle classes, or the great swaths of young concerned parents, or the volunteering Guardian readers, or the campaigning political activists, or the sober joggers, or the early-to-bed church-going brigade? They exist in most communities, but not in damp, demoralised Albert Square. And most of all are the denizens of the British office life, gone into their company's tables too much of the day to emerge in evenings and suits with briefcases, and heads dulled by company routines. The only working people you see in EastEnders are market store holders and barmaids. Yeah. Julie Smith cannot be held accountable for this, not least because she died in 1997. She created a program which had become the beast of burden for numerous issues, which corporations higher up feel must be aired. EastEnders have become a terrible vehicle for public awareness. Homophobia, drug addiction, AIDS, court death, domestic violence, endophobia, agoraphobia, bipolar disorder, breast cancer, alcohol abuse, teenage pregnancy, divorce, stress rate. All have been flung into the pot to keep the viewers perky. Okay. Few people in EastEnders laugh. Humour is one of the most British of characteristics, yet it baits well down in the EastEnders order of favourite gestures long after scowling and jaw clenching and general whine and crossness. They really are the most frightful bunch of whingers. It is not time they are put out of their misery. That is an example of what he's saying about EastEnders and Julie Smith, who created EastEnders. When it comes to people who are more upper classes, like the whole kind of royal family, though, he's really going for the juggler. This is Princess Diana. Okay? Down to number 18. Some faint hearts clutch their necks at the idea M15 bagged Princess Diana, but our government will surely have failed in its duty as it not followed the people's princess, listened to her conversations very closely indeed. June was a liability, a souffle of false ideas, a supermodel with all that entails, She was a glamorous tool of clever men, a plaything for the powerful. A delusion worshipped only by the impressionable. Diana weakened our monarchy almost to the point of rupture, as it was clear in the weeks after her death, when public hysteria generated an ugly mood against the Queen and Crown. That hysteria would have been impossible had not our society had been set by vapid Diana worship. Pools of the dead princess spouted. As some of the most unhappy creators continued to spout the most venomous fears about their enemies in the royal family. They hooked on tall tales as lunatics who stressed that NASA had never landed a spacecraft on the moon. But yet the thing is, okay, back to Diana, when the people, he's got it in for Diana, okay, but also got for the people who surrounded Diana. And Paul Burrell, who, since Diana's death, who was her butler, he's always been around, okay? And even though he's venomous against Diana, he's venomous against Paul. Now this is Paul Burrell's. Okay. Burrell is number 13. Unlucky 13. Burrell is the soapy-mannered little pod, faintly Norton Camp, who's made his fortune, 25 million accounting, by capitalising on his life with the royals. He is the sometime rock to the ill-fated Princess Diana, the dear domestic in a royal household, with whom the Queen bestowed an affectionate nickname, Little Paul. A man she's fairness to her young son has not been repaid. For the past 10 years, Burrell has traded hard on his time backstairs with the royal family. Sure enough, far from being Little Paul, he's Big Mouth Paul, big for his boots Paul, even Big Fibber Paul. The man managed the rare feat of being both disreputable and dreary. Why he's been taken seriously for so long? Burrell told his stage audience about Prince Charles' behaviour at the hospital in Paris when he arrived to inspect Diana's corpse. He approached me straight to my lapel and said, "Poor old thing," recalled Burrell. He went into the room where Diana's body lay. He came out visibly shaken. He hadn't expected to find what he'd seen. After all those years, he neglected his wife to come back to haunt him. Burrell's sordid details were no more newsworthy than the way that sudden deaths first of kin, often reported as devastated. As nothing to our knowledge, the creature merely reduces the dignity of the moment. See what I mean? There you go. But I like this bit. There you go. During the second half of this play he was doing down Drury Street, which was given to questions from the audience, he became uncomfortable when asked how much money he was making out of this. "Are you from the press?" he asked sharply. "Yes," from the questioner. "I'm from the Gay Times." This threw Burrell into confusion. He suddenly eased off, blushed, and said a lot of his friends were gay. Okay, Paul. Okay. So that's the kind of thing. One thing I actually like about Quentin is he just has, it's like an equal opportunity hatred, you know what I'm saying? This means he even has it in for fictional characters. Like when I was a little girl, this is going back in the 80s, okay, and I learned to read quite quickly, okay? A lot of my books were passed down from the older generations, and that's cool, okay? Topsy and Tim. I remember reading Topsy and Tim. I used to wonder who the hell called a kid Topsy, but anyway, okay? They're fictional characters, little kids' books. They go on these little cutesy little adventures. Okay, fine. And they've also been turned into a TV show. I'm watching that with my nieces over Christmas. There you go. Twins Topsy and Tim are brother and sister. They are age 5 and have remained out since they first blighted out culture in the 1960s. They live in a town and lead lives of blameless, culture-left orthodoxy. They're possibly the most unexciting little children it will ever be your misfortune to imagine. Yet experiences, adventures is too strong a word. Have been thrust down the throats of parents and toddlers for the past 57 years. The prose is extremely dull. Topsy and Tim do have not markedly separate identities. This being a new era, girls and boys must be considered the same. Sometimes it is Topsy who cries, sometimes Wimpy Tim. Sometimes Topsy kicks a football. Sometimes Tim admires a flower. Oh look, a pansy. These two little children are moulded for a world of unisex barbers and gender-neutral officialdom. In stories of Topsy and Tim, there is no Victorian stereotyping about girls liking boys and boys playing with worms. Good heavens, no. It is as true of Topsy and Tim's mummy and daddy. They share the household chores. Their bland characters are interchangeable. Mummy never succumbs to a bad mood. Daddy is never distant or baity or hungover. Never has a snort of hard drink in the evenings. Not so much an introduction to modern Britain, is he? How one hankers to write a photographic negative of Topsy and Tim stories, which show a debased country as it truly is and worse. Yeah. He's got it in for Topsy and Tim. Respect. Sorry, I mentioned first video, get over cold. Okay. However, now this book came out in 2006. In the last decade, it mentions 38 Sir Jimmy Savile. In the last decade, the truth about Jimmy Savile has come to light. Now, I grew up watching Jimmy Savile, okay? Todd the Pops, Jim will fix it. I even wrote to Jimmy Savile or Jim will fix it. Please, Jim, could you fix it for me? Never got back, but at the end of the day, I was about 9, and looking back, there's not much of ways I could have gone down to actually visit the Titanic, okay? So, yeah. But as a friend of mine, he wrote a letter to Jim will fix it asking to meet John Wayne, and I had to explain to him that John Wayne actually died a couple of years earlier. Yeah. Anyway, so it's just Jimmy Savile. Like a lavatory cleaner, Jimmy Savile is a household name, rather a peculiar one at that. Savile did many things in his career, from balloon manager to hospital porter in a loony bin, but he's best remembered with a shudder as a determinedly aided presenter of children's television shows. Savile wore his hair long, of a colour not quite white, not quite yellow. If certain other strands did appear to have a custardy hue, it may have been. Jim was a keen smoker, and his fingers had been stained with nicotine. His wardrobe was designed to be so disgusting as to get him noticed. Savile was a villain who introduced the shell suit to the British public. For that alone he is worth pillaring. He, with Elton John, a proponent of novelty spectacles, which became something of a wit, would live up and down while yodeling in his Yorkshire accent. When Everett Walkham did this, it was funny. When Savile did it, he wanted to lift the spectacles off his nose and place it under his heel. By the time he presented the first edition of Top of the Pops in 1960, he was nearly in his 5th decade, and yet he addressed the audience of youngsters as he almost kindred soul. He slung his arm around their teenage waist. He pulled silly faces. He behaved more foolishly than anyone else on camera shot. He was easily the oldest geezer on the set. His presence blurred the true zest of the youth and made it almost something creepier. There's an air of happiness is compulsory about him that was both irritating and in its way political. He also withdrew the sense of public permission for 30 years old, for 30-year-olds to be square and sensible. Now, I mentioned briefly, okay, his charitable work, which is, hey. But the thing is, this book came out 10 years, years before Jimmy Savile's Truth came out. Yeah, even though he's not explaining it, going into detail, he's so close to the bone about Savile. I believe that he had his suspicions. I believe he had his suspicions about Jimmy Savile way before. But I believe he could not write that in this book. Okay? Because since at this point was still alive, he would have been sued. That's what I'm going to say. Okay? So anyway, as an example of his work, of the 50 people buggered up Britain, hey, I respect this guy's opinion. I don't actually agree with what he's saying. But it's the people he's attacking. Jeffrey Archer, Kenneth Baker, Greg Diana, Edward Heath, Dame Susie Lever, John McEnroe, Julie Smith, Janice Report. Hey, Topsy and Tim. Hey, if you want to check out his work, okay? But I want to get hold of Patronise the Bastards because this is his first book. Imagine how the world has changed in the last 10 years. What the second one is going to be about. Well, Patronise the Bastards is going to be about because the world has changed so much. If this was just his first book, let's see what his latest one leads to. So once I get hold of that, I'm going to do a review. So, sign off here. First book of the Feast of the Society. 6 months, 60 books. Not the Feast of Fab 100, that's over. Sign off here. And bye now.